Hi guys, this is an RPM wing. I'm just about going to cut the ailerons into this wing. I used to do it by hand, which is I've been finding very difficult, simply because the layups are getting to be 2 to 3 layers of carbon on the ailerons, and it's very hard to try and cut through with a knife like I used to do it. But as soon as I get this marked out, I'll show you a little machine that I've made to make life easier for myself. Unfortunately, my machine doesn't cut these in. I don't actually find it very difficult at all with a hacksaw, so I'll show you why it doesn't do it in a minute when we get to the actual machine. But I've always cut them with these, and they seem to work quite well. So this is it. I got a Dremel sitting on there, and I got the snake coming around and sitting in the front there. Now, unfortunately, I can't cut the ailerons, the slots and the ends like I did with the hacksaw, because this is too big. If it was just a piece of hose coming through with a key on the end, the chuck on the end, that would be fine. But because this here sits down so far, there's no way I'm going to be able to cut anything with that, because it's just going to rub on the trailing edge of the wing. But cutting it with a hacksaw is okay. I find it quite easy, and to tell you honestly, it's probably going to be quicker to do it that way anyway, because you would have to have this on some sort of hinge system, so that would come around this way, and then you can cut the cuts in. But this one does the long cuts, and that's the hardest ones to do, so that's all good. Now, Paul, my mate, his daughter has made her own 3D printers, and she's made a 3-axis wire cutter for cutting foam cores for wings. So I asked her if she could, because she's been dealing with tracks and that for her 3D printers, if she could come up with a system to run backwards and forwards on a track. So she drew this up and printed it for me, which is absolutely mind-blowing. For me, it is anyway. It's got 4 rollers in there, and they're all adjustable, so if I get any movement in, this is rock solid, if I get any movement in this, I can adjust the rollers to get it back solid again. And she's printed all these little knobs and everything here for this bar. I can move that bar in and out, but I've made this piece here for it. She had made some of the parts to it, but I changed it around slightly to get it to work a bit better, so that I can push that up and down, and I can actually go along and control the depth of my cut, which is really good. The other thing is too that Tracy's redesigning the end of this to have something that comes out and have a threaded rod come down with a little plastic end on it to actually touch the wing. The reason for that is if I have something that I can do fine adjustments on, I can actually cut down to the Kevlar. I can just keep winding the screw up slightly every time, and then run it along that so it's hitting on that plastic bit, so I'm not going to go through, and just cut down to the Kevlar, which is going to save me a lot of time as well. But anyway, I'll show you how this works. This whole track system sits on top of a 18mm board, which is 2400 long. I've got a cradle that the wing sits in, and that is separate to the table. I've got slots in there so I can do fine adjustments on it. So now I've got my wing sitting in the cradle. I'll just adjust it so that I can adjust it to that line. And this one. That looks real good, so we'll just lock that off. It's just a bit of added security. Again, this is something that we're going to have a look at and eliminate a lot of this. Okay, so we're all solid. Cool, so that's that first cut done. I've got to bring that cut 3mm forward now. Awesome. That's actually that side done. So here we are. I've just got the corners to clean out a little bit, but that's not a big deal. Same with the center and the end there, but nice clean cuts, and so much easier than trying to cut through with a knife. Okay, I've cut all my corners out now on the flaps and the ailerons, which is all good. This is the actual the second wing I've cut on that machine. This one I did yesterday. These are paint, not perfect wings. There's slight defects on the actual surface of these wings, so good wings to have a try out on this. But yesterday I actually dropped the cutter in and cut right through in one go, which is good, but unfortunately it melts the paint, where I've just left it that little bit too long when I was a bit careful coming into that point there. So if you notice on this one today, I've taken light cuts and kept moving along the wing. So where I've made a cut has a chance to cool down and to stop that paint from melting. But I'm really happy with the result on that. And this one I've released the Kevlar, so I've cut down to the Kevlar on the other side. With that machine, very scary, very gently, because I haven't got that stop on there yet to stop me going through, but that's what I've got to do. That's the next little project on this machine. You can see that cut allows that flap to come up, which is fine. I don't think they need to come up any more than that, and it allows the wiper to tuck underneath quite nicely after you've sanded a bit of a bevel on that trailing edge. And but on the whole, I'm actually really happy with the machine, and it's going to save me a lot of time.